Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom. This, as always, this beautiful path, this amazing path, this wonderful, wonderful path where we get to set ourselves free to soar, to shine, to glow, where we get to set ourselves free to be in ever expanding love and joy and harmony and wholeness and beauty. Not only be in, but be ever expanding love and joy and peace and harmony and wholeness and all of that. Because it is, none of these are coming to us from some external source, but they're all welling up from within us. They are all emerging from within us. So the work that we get to do in releasing and letting go of everything that is obscuring and keeping these beautiful qualities from emerging, it is all about revealing that which is inherently within us, that which is innately within us, that which is intrinsically within us, that which has always been within us. So we've never been missing anything, we've never been lacking anything, but we have obscured and we have covered up and we have distorted that which is already here. The light is always here, as that beautiful saying goes, that darkness in and of itself is nothing. But darkness can only exist in the absence of light. And as soon as we shine the light of awareness on these limited thought patterns, these limited judgments and opinions and beliefs and stories and all of that, in that moment of awareness, the opportunity, the possibility, the option for us to choose to release and let these go emerge. And as we do release and let these go, something much more luminous emerges from within us. So this is the promise of this path. This is the work that we get to do as we are moving along this path. And I was actually, and so my name is Daniel Rokia. I want to say that, obviously, and I also want to say that I'm very happy, that I'm very grateful that you are here, that you're choosing to join me on this path, that you're choosing to join me in a moment of expanding our consciousness, in a moment of raising our vibration, so that we may allow for the next great and grand version of who and what we are to emerge. The topic for today is somewhere along the lines, let divine peace reign supreme, or something like that. And I was out walking yesterday, and as I was walking across the fields and I was walking down to the lake that is nearby, and I also want to say, and it's relevant to the story, so this is springtime. The spring is on the verge of coming. We're right on the doorstep of spring. So it's February, so it's not fully spring yet, but I was sensing, as I was walking across these fields and I was watching the birds and I was observing the migrating birds, the geese that are flying in their beautiful arrows and their hordes and flocks. And I became aware that spring is perhaps the most intense season in nature. So much happens in the spring. Babies are being born, flowers are emerging, leaves are emerging, expansion is happening in a very, very big way in the spring. And it was very much akin to what I'm experiencing, as I'm experiencing a growth spurt right now as I'm moving through a space of massive expansion in who I am and how I'm showing up and in my level of service. And yet there was such an immense difference between what I was experiencing in nature, or what I was observing in nature, and what I am observing in myself. In myself, I'm observing relentless mental activity. I mean, there's so many thoughts just streaming through my consciousness, just flowing into my awareness. The mind is continuously occupying itself with planning and trying to figure out and all these things, right? As I'm moving into completely uncharted territory. And the mind wants to know, he wants to he wants to stay on top of things. So there's relentless mental activity that I'm observing in myself. And in nature, as nature is preparing for this intense season, all I was observing was peace. All I was observing was harmony, wholeness, tranquility, serenity. There was such stillness in peace, in nature. And it reminded me that, and that may be the subtitle to this message, that drama truly is optional. Drama truly is optional. As I'm moving through this space, and this goes for all of us, and I'm having conversations with individuals pretty much every day that are experiencing and that are sharing this immense amount of mental activity as well. And they are sharing worries and anxieties and stress and fears and worries and doubts and all of that. Now, I'm not experiencing the negativity, but I am experiencing this intense mental activity. It's as I said, it's relentless, it's ceaseless, right? But that is optional. We don't have to. We do not have to try to figure out. We do not have to plan how to move from point A to point B, or from wherever we are to wherever we want to get. As the trees are preparing, as the trees in nature are preparing for their leaves to sprout, they are not figuring out how to do that. They are not trying to come up with the best plan, the most efficient plan to allow for the leaves to emerge, nor are the flowers that are not yet visible above ground, nor are they trying to figure out how to push through the surface. But there's such a gentle surrender in nature. And so we have so much to learn from nature. We have so much to learn from coming from nature in its way of being so fully present in this now moment. Practicing the presence now, that's not what nature does. Nature is just being present. It's not practicing it. It doesn't have to practice it. But we do with this intellectual mind, that with this mind that roams free unless we rein it in. We need to practice. We need to practice coming back to the nowness of this moment. We need to practice choosing peace. Because if we don't choose it, if we don't choose peace, no one else is going to choose it for us. So if we want to experience peace, if we want to experience harmony, if we want to experience wholeness, if we want to experience freedom, if we want to experience abundance, it is all up to us to choose it. And we do choose it by not allowing the mind to venture into some future moment. We are choosing it by coming back to this now moment, allowing it to emerge, to well up from within, because it's always here. Whenever we come fully back, whenever we step fully into the nowness of this moment, which is not past tense or present tense even, or a future tense, but the nowness of this moment, it is the eternal moment. It's beyond time. It's got nothing to do with time. It's this now moment, here and now. And whenever we come back to the breath, or whatever tool we resonate with or habitually lean into, but whenever we come to a full stop, and as I was out walking yesterday, I was out walking for about 30 minutes, and I cannot even remember the amount of times, the number of times I had to bring myself back to the nowness of this moment. I mean, the mind, it was like a yo-yo. It just took off. It just took off, trying to plan, trying to figure out, trying to rehearse future conversations, and a number of things it was doing. But all of them pretty much were about some future moment. So I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back over and over and over and over and over again. And that's the work that we need to do. Peace is here. Peace is not in some future moment. Abundance is not in some future moment. Wholeness is not in some future moment. Yes, there may be the physical manifestations of it that may be not fully present, that may be not fully visible in this now moment. But the feeling tone of it is here. And it is, as the sacred laws decree, it is the consciousness that precedes the form. So if we hold on is not really the word I'm looking for. If we allow peace to reign supreme in our consciousness now, peace will sooner or later outpicture itself in our experience, in our lives. If we allow wholeness to well up from within us in this now moment, and as we sustain this feeling tone, wholeness will emerge. Wholeness will manifest itself, demonstrate itself. And the same goes for abundance, and the same goes for all of these beautiful qualities. But we need to be them first. We need to be them first, and the way to be them is to come back to the nowness of this moment, is to really practicing the presence, to really come back to this now moment over and over and over again, until this is where we live. Until this is where we live. Nothing in nature is planning for anything. Nothing in nature is trying to figure out anything. Nothing in nature is even trying to get anywhere. But all of nature is just here. It's just now. It's fully present. Those migrating birds and these geese, I mean, their wings are pretty large, but they're much smaller migrating birds, like the swallows. And every single year that they appear, every single spring that they appear, and the larches and all of these smaller birds, every single year that they appear, I always am amazed by how they have flown from, like, I don't know, across the world, at least across half the world, to get to this particular space, this particular region, with their tiny little wings. I mean, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles that they have flown. And I don't know, but what I've heard is that most of them, at least the swallows, I mean, they fly across the world to find the exact same nest that they have been living in for a number of years. So they find not only their way to the north, but they find their way to the exact same place. And it is not about they're not planning it. They are not worrying or fretting how to get here. They're just so in tune with the divine intelligence that knows what needs to happen, how it needs to happen, when it needs to happen, that knows everything, that has every single possibility inherently within it. And that's a beautiful lesson for us too, to trust the still small voice, to trust the voice of intuition to guide and lead and move us. This voice that is beyond logic, that is beyond reason, that absolutely takes us beyond what we believe in this now moment to be possible, if we allow it, if we but give it permission. But we need to choose it. We need to choose it. And that is actually another topic for another message. If not now, then when? And I got this from a series that I am watching with my son, and someone was saying, if not now, then when? And that is such a beautiful reminder. If we're not choosing peace now, then when? Or why not? Why not now? Why not choose abundance now? Why not choose wholeness now? Why not choose love now? I mean, what's the use in waiting? What's the use in trying to have that perfect moment where everything is just lined up perfectly, where all of our ducks are in a row, and that moment's not ever gonna appear. It's not just magically gonna appear, but these moments, the perfection reveals itself as we begin to choose now, as we release the drama, as we begin to move in the direction of our heart's desires and the good that we wish to desire, or that we wish to see, to experience, to see manifested. That's when perfection finds its way into our lives. Let's give peace permission to reign supreme, because peace is here. It is not out there. It is not in some future moment. So the invitation for us is to become aware of where we're holding off. Where are we putting peace off? What excuses are we giving permission to run us to not be in peace now? Oh, I don't have time. I can't be in peace unless they get their act together, or whatever the case may be. Unless these conditions and circumstances become whatever I feel I need to have them become. But what excuses are we giving permission to run us? That's the invitation, and the questions that we get to lean into is, what do I need to release and let go of to be in peace now? What do I need to release and let go of not to be in peace? What do I need to release and let go of to be the peace now? What do I need to release and let go of to be the wholeness, to be the abundance? And it's all about the stories, the limited beliefs and perceptions that we buy into, that we give permission to hijack us, to hold us hostage. It is all about that. It is not ever about external conditions or circumstances being in any particular way. Just to, so we need to be aware of that. It's all about the work that we do within. It's all about where we turn our attention within. So, yeah, that's it for today, for this message. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this with anyone that you feel might resonate with this or benefit from it. And until we meet again, I absolutely bless our days, and I bless our ways, in the full knowing that all is well, in the full knowing that something wonderful is happening, in the full knowing that everything is working for our highest good. And I want to add to this, in the full knowing that perfect preparation and unfolding is always happening. So with much love, many blessings. Namaste.